When I'm gone, they'll just find another monster. They have to. Because they have to justify their wages.
That's their business.
Our time has passed, John.
Shit. Voice acting is the bridge between the character and the player. You have to give a convincing performance in a video game because the goal is to immerse the player in the world that you're creating. But what if you give a weak performance? Well, your character will become one in an entire Aragon novel of forgettable performances. I think there is a massive difference between a boring performance and a really bad performance. Like every single character in Resident Evil 1. I don't know what the fuck happened to those actors, but it's like they forgot how to deliver every one of their lines properly. A lot of the writing in this game isn't the worst, but they deliver every single line just so wrong. When Chris starts laughing at Wesker, it feels almost comedic because like, bro, why are you laughing like the Joker right now? Why do you guys pause like it's the Big Bang Theory in between every line like you're waiting for a fucking laugh track?
No.
Even though this is one of the worst performances in video game history, it's also one of the most memorable. I'm sure you've all heard the iconic, "You were almost a Jill sandwich" line, and that's all you need to do with the voice, is just be memorable. Lest we forget that this is the same series that years later would win at the Game Awards for exceptional voice performance. Now, you could make the argument that the voice acting in the older LEGO games aren't good, but I think they're fucking hilarious. They very ingeniously play into the idea of them being toys by making them just mumble a bunch of nonsense. Akin to a game like The Sims, which also has very comical and mumbly-ass voices. A lot of games that have limited voice acting have to make all of their lines count, like Ace Attorney, which only has a few voice lines, but they make those motherfuckers count. Rockstar's games always have Oscar-worthy performances. I feel like in every game they make, they have some sort of memorable voice performance. CJ in San Andreas, you know, it's a pretty convincing job, but everyone knows the crown jewel voice in that game is Big Motherfucking Smoke. You look at a character like this, and you know exactly what he sounds like just by looking at him. But then he starts talking.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large.
This is quite possibly the best casting job of all time. Arthur Morgan is possibly the greatest protagonist of all time, and this could be due to the excellent writing by Rockstar, but it is most definitely bolstered by Roger Clark's prodigious performance.
It would mean a lot to me. Please. Ain't no more time for talk. Go. Arthur, go to your family. Arthur, get the hell out of here and be a goddamn man. You're my brother. I know. I know.
This game made me cry like 15 times, bro. Stephen Ogg and his portrayal of Trevor in Grand Theft Auto 5 is such an outstanding performance. He plays the lunatic to a perfect degree. It's so hard to get a read on his character because like sometimes he seems tender and genuine, and then the next.
Yeah. Fucking shit! Who the fuck are you speaking to?
It is a fucking shame that he hates the character now because he deserves all the flowers. But not all Rockstar games are made with the same level of care. One game I think where the voice acting is just a bit lackluster is LA Noire. I might get a lot of shit for this one, but the performances here aren't exactly groundbreaking. Don't get me wrong, this game is fantastic. It is such a unique game in the Rockstar style, but I think the job the animators did on the characters' faces kind of carries the voice acting. But even in a game where I'm disappointed by the voice acting, they still give some memorable lines here and there.
We do a lot of presuming here in the United States, Consul General. It comes with the turf.
You fuck young boys, Valdez.
Are you a madman?
When games started getting more cinematic focused and less gameplay focused, voice acting became much more crucial in establishing atmosphere. Back in the day, you didn't need super convincing voice acting because all people cared about was getting in tanks and exploding each other. Games like Gears of War were pioneers in this field and had some very good performances, such as John DiMaggio's performance of Marcus Phoenix, who sounded deep and angry and said shit like,
I'm ready to kick some ass.
and then the Cole Train, who said shit like,
Coal train runs at whole grain, baby! Wow!
the locusts in the game had really gurgly, monstrous voices and did a good job of convincing you that the threat they posed to humanity was real. Even super brain-dead shooters like Call of Duty got in on it, with characters like Woods, Mason, and Reznov, making the Cold War feel just that much more chilly.
Dragovich, Kravchenko, Stein. These men must die.
Halo nailed their voice acting performances, especially with Master Chief, which is half the reason Halo is as iconic as it is. Some games rely on voice acting as a crutch to carry more boring aspects of gameplay, like Danganronpa. These games always have super all-star voice casts, but they need to. Danganronpa is kind of like an Ace Attorney ripoff, which had a minimal amount of voice acting, but was also like a quarter of the size. The trials in Danganronpa are pretty much fully voiced, and help to distract you from the monotony of reading every single line, especially when they start talking in circles like they sometimes do, and this kind of moves into my next point. A lot of voice acting performances could be attributed to the writing. It's kind of like the Star Wars prequel situation, where you have an immensely talented group of actors, but it's written so terribly that even Ewan McGregor can't save it. Holy fuck, how did they make Natalie Portman a fucking robot? I think a good example of this is the recent Saints Row reboot. I feel like the voice acting in this game isn't even that bad, but it's written so miserably that the voice actors have no fucking chance at all to save it.
Crap, shit, crap, goddamn fucking shit, crap, son of a bitch, ass, wipe, piss, wipe, crap, and crap.
Juxtapose this against a game like Yakuza, where the game isn't even in my native fucking tongue, but the writing and acting complement each other so beautifully, it's like they're real people.
そうだな。面倒なことをしてくれたもんだ。
Nowadays, video games aren't even just voice, they're fully acted out, which gives the writers and animators more to work with. Portraying emotions is a lot easier when you can create a rapport with the other actors. Lots of Sony games have been doing this for a while, with games like The Last of Us and God of War. This is great for the players because the games are incredibly narrative and character driven, so when Ellie and Joel start talking, it feels a lot more natural than a game like Fallout 4.
I'm not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
This is partially why Red Dead 2 has done so well. The game, from what I understand, was almost fully done with motion capture. So Arthur, Dutch, John Marston, and everyone else were able to play off of each other better than if they had been reading their lines in a recording booth. With this, you can now have real actors, which is something we've started to see more and more with titles like Death Stranding and Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this always doesn't lead to great performances though. I think Until Dawn is the poster child for this. This game was mo-capped, but the dialogue is so fucking cringe. It's like I'm listening to an episode of some cheesy teenage horror romp. Wait.
Anna! What's going on? Where's my sister going?
It's fine. She just can't take a joke.
It was just a prank, Han.
Now, I'm not trying to rehash old shit, but a lot of games could benefit from voice acting that don't have it. I think the main culprit here is the Pokemon series, which should be a no-brainer, right? I mean, the anime is fully voiced, so what gives? But you may be thinking, Kyler, what's your favorite voice performance? Probably this.
Going somewhere, Jarek? Jax! I thought you were going to. Thought I was what?
dead, like my partner you just tossed off the cliff?
I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise.
Too late, Jarek.
You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it.
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.